All right, so I'm totally walking these flipping big old galoots. This is Tara and Dude. I don't know. I didn't name them. don't ask me about names. I didn't name them, but I don't know. They're awesome. They got great personalities and stuff. They're just amazing. But as I'm walking with these guys, I'm totally finding that, in context to natal charts and astrology, you could technically do a flippin' natal chart for an animal and get the same, instructional setup that, you would for a human being and stuff. That actually just blows my mind. So you could literally, I wonder how that works if you could totally, tell an animal's personality and, their strengths and weaknesses, and what you're going to have to work on with that animal, what you're going to have to, put more effort into, and where you're going to have to help that animal excel, in their strengths as well. Not just, tear down their shadow, but build up their higher self as well. I don't know, there's something to that. It just literally occurred to me, and I'm just like, wow. I don't know what I'm gonna make this video about, but shoot, man, there's so much going on right now. The energy is just amazing. Okay, I'll take it there, Spirit. So, energy. The energy's right now. What we have going on energetically right now. So in my life, I don't know, it might be the same for everybody energetically, but it could due to your astrological signs, where your planet placements are, transits, retrogrades, whatnot. If you were born under a retrograde, then that same condition, it's a strength or a weakness, and during retrogrades, those energies will be either intensified or they will be set back. The bar will be set back to the normal range when it goes into retrograde. Say you have Mercury retrograde in Libra. So your Mercury, when it retrogrades in Libra again, that same energy is like being at home to you. It's like, yes, I know that everything's going great. This is, but if it's not retrograde in whatever house that you're looking at, or whatever sign you're looking at, it changes things around. Everything is so interconnected. It's insane. So the energy right now is quite amazing. Father and I have been discussing, and shoot, other light workers. You know what? I gotta just express my gratitude. I do this all the time privately, but you know what? I want to express my gratitude to all you other light workers out there who just have made a huge impact on my life and have helped me change things about myself that I didn't even see were there. I've struggled to bring things into this world because, shoot, when I was growing up, I grew up in a Christian home. We were very humble, very dirt floor poor. My mom was a single mom of 5 ungrateful kids, unruling kids that, couldn't see beyond their nose on their face. God, man, she worked 3 jobs and everything. We came from a little and made a lot. It just, wow. The change that has occurred along just this one lifetime is just unfathomable to explain. One of these days I'm gonna have to do my, I'm definitely gonna have to do my testimony and share that with everybody. But, golden era, Bianca, man, I can't express how much, time and effort that psychic puts in for me for free. She literally does it just to give back. I didn't know that the world actually had people like that in it. All I received was pain and suffering. I'd put forth, more energy and more effort, when I seen that the relationship was crap, and it wasn't going the way I wanted it. So I would try and control the situation, steer it to a better direction, and just put more in. Well, no, that's what they want, and they see that you're putting more in, so they, well, shit, if you're going to give it all and I don't have to give anything, then that's exactly what I'll do, and just receive, because you're doing all the work. Shit, why do I have to do any work? I had that mentality in my life to begin with, and then I received it, and I kept receiving that over and over and over and over again. Not just in personal relationships or romantic, just every relationship with everybody, my family, my friends, my intimate relationships, just everything ended up in the same damn thing. Like, the higher self would build and the lower self would come in when the energies changed and totally would just destroy it. It was terrible. But so the energies going on now we have choice right now. We have choices coming in. There is Aries, and there's Venus standing in the sky on the Western Hemisphere. Aries comes up early in the evening and rides to the other side of the sky, where he's exalted in the night. And Venus rises a couple of hours before the sun. And then the sun rises and exalts Venus. Venus is in Libra, which is one of its home signs. Venus is the ruler of Taurus and Libra. I don't think it's the ruler of any other of the zodiological signs, but I know those two for sure. I could be mistaken, but I know those two for sure. So Venus is the house of love and abundance, grace, mercy, quiet strength. She rules more than that. But these are the ones I'm going to focus on right now. So those things are being exalted in the sun, in the first of the light, at the beginning of the day. And Venus rides through the sky with the sun all day long, except for a couple hours into the night. And then, so as we revolve, it is totally there above the Western Hemisphere. So Venus is exalted in the sky. Your love, your abundance, your grace, your mercy. Loving gifts, but those gifts also have shadow side. What is the opposite of love, grace, mercy, acceptance, tolerance? What's the opposite of those? Hate, strife, discord, jealousy, anger, intolerance, lack of patience, lack of acceptance, So now let's move over to Aries. We have Mars in the sky, big red planet. He was exalted for a while, up through the past month, maybe 6 weeks. You notice that red star was super bright in the night. Super bright. See, I've recently moved out to my parents' house in the past 8 months or so ago, about April, and I'm really learning to enjoy it. I almost don't want to give up my solitude anymore. I've learned to enjoy being a hermit. I get so much more done. But so Aries, Mars was exalted in the sky the same way Venus was, and that's the shadow needs to come out and do all your work, guys, so the shadow rises to the surface. Well, Mars is Aries. Aries is the planet of, power. What comes from power? Passion. I'm sorry. I'm already on like 5 other things in my mind. I'm sorry. I have ADHD at the same time, but that's a part of my shadow that I'd cope with. But so Aries, is, he's passion, and power from within, from deep within. So, I don't know, there's also, your passion can envelop one thing to the other. It all permeates, but your passion can encompass many different avenues of your life. And normally it's the driving force, it's motivation, right? It's what you are most fervent about. So Mars was exalted up through the last 6 weeks, and then he now sits when Venus is rising, when Venus is in the sky in the mornings and now exalted. Aries, or Mars, is directly across on the eastern side of the sky in the night when now Venus is exalted. So what this is telling me, or at least what Spirit's saying to me from it, is, well, my interpretation of it, this is the channeled message I got when I was looking at the stars and pondering. It was, see how Aries and Venus are directly opposing one another at almost it's what seems to me at the same latitude in the sky, just directly across from each other. So they are both exalted right now, even though one is leaving, the one is beginning. It's rain. The ability to choose what is leaving is still there. You can still choose what you have, or you can choose the new love and abundance and blessings that Venus is bringing, that your mom is bringing. Okay, and everybody gets new blessings right now. The karma, everybody's getting their receipts and their bills for karma right now. And it's going to take place all the way through the end of the year up until spring. The time of death and rebirth comes at first fruits. So what's going on is they're both directly opposing one another. The energy is weakening from Aries coming in as strong. But he is still in retrograde, and he is about to move direct. So that'll tell you that your passion is going to move forward. Right now you are introspecting, retrospecting, and gathering up the wisdom, the harvest from past relationships, from past experiences, from just everything that you've gone through up until this point. Everybody is reevaluating it right now. And it's whether they're going to continue in the old way. And I can guarantee you nobody's continuing in any old way right now. Everything is new. Everything for everyone is turning out new if they're doing the work. And you know what? Regardless if they're doing the work, the shadow work and everything that it takes to go through all this, if you're not doing the work, I can tell you right now, your life is still changing. It's just not for the better. It's going to get more difficult, more harder, because now instead of accepting what was seen, you freaked out and turned your back and said, no, that can't be true. And ran, and tried to stay in the same cycle. When we hold on too long, after something has already been dying, like say, a relationship matter. Okay, so relationships are cyclical, just like everything else in the world. Everything else in existence, even in the universe and space where there is no, in the cold vacuum of space. All things are cyclical. The birth of a star, the death, from the birth of the star to the death of the star, it's a cycle. Everything is cyclical. It's a fundamental principle of this universe, of this material world. So in saying that all things are cyclical, let's move on. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself a lot today to keep my place. I'm really passionate about these subjects. And I can lose my thought of trains just in the blink of an eye, just a derailment or change of track, and Gotta jump out, you know, it's pretty bad. I'm sorry, guys. Just please stay with me. One day the divine will send me somebody who will help me to harness and focus my energies into one direction at a time. But I wait for that day, and until then, y'all got to deal with this. Nah, that person's within me already. It's just a matter of balancing them all out now. But so back to what we were saying, cyclical, right? So everything is cyclical. Everything, all relationships, all life, evolution. It's the evolution of the soul, the consciousness, the collective, the singularity. All of it is just the evolution of all of it. So excuse me just a minute. So, oh, sorry, dude. Hold on, just a second. There you go, buddy. Go, run, play. So, the birth of a child. Let's start at the birth of a child. We'll use this for an example to get to what we're going to with relationships. So the birth of a child. The birth of the child, you know, begins in the womb, and you know so it begins in your solar plexus, in the root, and grows from there, grows up, right? Okay, well, so there's birth, there's the life of it. So that at the birth, you create foundations. You create things to build on. Otherwise, you have nothing to build on. Trust and, you know, bridges. Trust is a bridge, right? So you build trust. The body forms within the mother. The foundation forms within the relationship. You know, it's the same thing. The love grows, the baby grows, you know. So, you know, and then through the birth and the life of that child, so say like marriage comes, you know, commitment comes. You know, and in that we have the life of the child, where it grows and develops and, you know, takes on its own life and everything. Hey, that's far enough. Come on. Hey! So they take on their own life and everything and their own journey. And your journey's still going, right? So, oh God, this is getting really complicated. I should have thought this out better. Sorry. So there's there's birth, life, death, and rebirth. And always, always, always will that cycle ever be. So the birth, the life, the death, the rebirth. So what happens when you plant a seed? So the seed, you know, if you take care of it, if everybody does their part, then the seed will, you know, go into the ground. It will die and it will be reborn and it will grow into a tree, right? It'll grow into whatever that thing is supposed to be. If you plant bad seeds, you're going to get bad plants. If you plant weeds, you're going to get weeds. If you plant daisies and tulips and, you know, big fig trees and stuff, if you plant those kinds of seeds, you're going to get those kinds of plants, right? Every seed produces a plant of its likeness, of its same image, of its same genetic makeup. Everything is always reproducing after itself. So the same thing happens with our relationships. If we plant weeds, we're going to get weed. Oh, God. So if you plant seeds from weeds, then you are going to get weeds. If you plant seeds, I've never seen a rose seed, but if you plant roses, you're going to get roses. That's the bottom line. So in that planting stage, that's basically what we get, and we get it in relationships as well. It is one of the key fundamentals that Spirit has taught me about planting seeds within people and, you know, building relationships. But both people have to be building it. Otherwise, if one's doing more and it's not reciprocated, then resentment steps in, and they're planting a weed. You know, so basically, if somebody's planting weeds and the other one's trying to rip the weeds out and plant flowers is never going to work for anybody. Tara! Get over here! So, if, then they're working against each other at that point, and it's just nothing is going to work because there's a push-pull going on instead of a flow. There has to be a flow, and both people have to be flexible enough, not rigid, but structured and flexible to allow the bending and weaving for spirit to actually work in your relationship, and for you to kind of bend with it a little bit, not break yourself, but to kind of make yourself flexible to it so that you can flow within the flow without hitting a rock and breaking your arm. You don't want to bash yourself on the rocks. You want to flow. So life has the same thing. And then there's the life of it, and that's a part of the growing process, and keeping it balanced and stable. Both people coming, meeting together, watering it, feeding it, tilling the soil, pulling the weeds out. Because people will come plant weeds in your garden. They will come. They will. It's a fact of life. People see other people happy, and they can't stand it within themselves because they are not happy. They become jealous and envious and covetous. So they creep in, plant seeds of weeds in the middle of the night while you sleep, and you wake up and, wow, we got all these weeds. Well, let the weeds and the harvest grow together, and when we harvest, we will burn the weeds and we will harvest the fruit. So that's the parable of the sower, and that's exactly where I connect those two at. Is you have to know that your foundation is built firm enough, that your connection and commitment to one another is strong enough to endure the test of time, because that tower in the tarot card is the divine striking the tower. It's not people doing it. It is the divine striking the tower, sending that person, saying, hey, look, you guys both aren't on the same page, or here it needs to be worked on, here your foundation has a crack. We have to keep everything going as a team. That tower card is lightning striking a tower, the tower turning a fire, and two people falling out of the window as everything crumbles around. So the tower, hey, come on, Tara, come on, dude, come on. So if there's two ways that a tower can go down. A tower can go down in a positive manner, or it can go down in a negative manner. And if the tower goes down in a positive manner, the two will build on that and fix those cracks, and they will harvest the lessons from the tower, from the people creeping in and spreading rumors, trying to get in between them. It happens, trust me. It happens. If it's not built on firm foundation, and you're not open and willing to compromise and to work and expect the same in return, and then it's not going to work. It'll totally turn into a negative tower where everything is destroyed, and both people are wondering what the hell happened at the end and why it happened, and then they both have to harvest on their own. Both have to look at the lessons and evaluate what went wrong, why it went wrong, how it went wrong, who brought it in, why it was brought in, and when to now let go. Because when we don't let go in our relationships, something that's dead, you don't keep your mom in a flippin' on the couch after she's died. You just don't do that. Hey, get over here. Come on, Tara. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's go. Come on. So you don't just keep a dead body on the couch and throw food in front of it and everything. You know, in some cultures they do this, but they prepare the bodies, I think. Ugh. So, come on. So, you know, if something is dead and decaying, you don't just leave the fruit on the plant. You have to harvest the fruit. Otherwise, the fruit's going to rot and stuff on the tree too. And now it was worthless. Everything was worthless. Nothing had a purpose now. Now it's just destruction. It was life, death, and destruction. All for nothing. So nothing is for nothing. Nothing is wasted in this world. Nothing. So, oh man, we really, come on. We really got to look at our past, our present, and make good choices for the future now. If you're in a relationship where you don't feel fulfilled, where you don't feel like you're getting what you need, what you're getting, what you put in, hold back, slow down, talk with your partner, find out what's going on, why it's going on. Ask the when, where, whys, hows. Come on, this way. You gotta ask questions. Question everything so that you can find your true self. I was also, you know what? I found this also. If you can look enough into your past, your ancestral past, come on! You can see, well, if you look into your past, go through your ancestors, look at your lineage, go track your bloodline, your ancestral history back as far as you can take it. Do some research on the people. Hey, come on, let's go. So if you leave that, so if you can connect those stories and see the common threads, you will literally be able to see the common threads in your own life. And believe me, this will be divinely guided when you're doing it. Believe me, you're not going to come across things that are not meant for you. If you pray before you and set the intention of what you are seeking to find, because you will find exactly what you are looking for if you seek. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things shall be added unto you. Don't seek wealth. Don't seek abundance and all the other BS that comes along with this world, because, you know, you're missing it. If you seek first the kingdom within, the heaven within, then all things shall be added unto you. Come on. Jesus, mercy, you guys. Y'all don't listen today. I'm going to put you back on your leashes. So, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. Seek ye first unity within yourself. Quit being a house divided. Seek your inner truth. Seek you. Find you within you. Find the divine spark within you and have communion with it. It's standing there knocking practically in your face. But if you seek it within you and you find it, just the mere fact of seeking it, your life is going to change. For the better, for the worse in the beginning, because it becomes troublesome when you find the truth. It hurts. The truth hurts. People can't handle the truth. These are true sayings for a freaking reason, that they've been around for thousands of years. This is truth. It hurts. Trust me. I'm a dude, man. I'm a freaking emotional dude lately. I've always been in touch with my feminine. I use my divine feminine more so in this world, because I see that's what this world needs. Be the change that you want to see. This world needs love. It also needs a firm hand. So I've learned that I have to be firm and fair, but I also have to be loving and compassionate. I'm sorry, this kind of segue into a lot of stuff, but, you know, there's a lot that I want to share with you guys. There's a lot that I've been given, and I know there's probably a more structured way to share all of this. I'm always open to ideas and constructive criticism. As long as it's constructive, don't call me up and tear me down. You know, shit, nobody likes that. Kids don't like that. I don't like it. You know, spiritual psychology. Journey into the depths and recesses of the soul, the shadow, the spirit body, the emotional body, the etheric body. Diving deep. Oh. So, oh man. So I found that I've struggled with abandonment issues, avoidance issues, some borderline personality disorders, you know, like sense of entitlement, like it's an ego trip. Your higher self and your lower self are melded into one, so your lower self knows everything that your higher self knows. And in your higher self receiving power and knowledge, your lower self receives that same knowledge and power. That's why Smith is undefeatable in the Matrix until the end, when Neo finally realizes, no, I'm not my shadow. This guy is not me, but he has to exist. In order for him to exist, there's a balance. So, you know, making peace with your ego. Your ego just wants to be accepted for who and what and why it is. It wants to be loved. Like that 7-year-old child you were, experiencing abandonment issues, experiencing lack of compassion, lack of love. Your very parents, your very family, your very friends pushing their own bullshit onto you, imprinting you with their BS because they're insecure. They're, you know, the lack of love and everything going on in their life, the lack of compassion in their lives, they perpetuate it onto you. And we do it all without noticing. We do it all without even noticing. Our ego is just so unfathomably powerful, it's stupid. We do this all without knowing it. Energy vampirism. Vampires. The myth of where vampires come from. It's not a myth. It just refers, it's a story that refers to something else. It's parabolic. Okay, we've, just like everything else in this world, us humans have taken a story that was parabolic and represented another teaching. We've taken that story to the furthest extent and made it just completely physical. You know, without medical help or medical assistance to do this, this does not exist in the world. Have you ever seen a real vampire, born human, made into an immortal, lives on blood, sleeps in a coffin, hangs in a cave, whatever? Have you ever seen it yourself? With your own two eyes. I don't care about stories, people telling you, well, I trust this person. No. Have you seen it with your eyes? Okay. So it's a story that is parabolic, describing something else. Hey, come on, you two freaks, get out of the cactus. Come on. So vampirism refers to energy vampires. We can all be energy vampires and not even be aware of it happening in the moment. And not even aware, we could be not aware that it happens at all. So just as the universe sends the tower moment that strikes the lightning onto your tower and, you know, it shows you where your weaknesses are, well, just in that same way, the universe, the divine, the creator will allow people, the demons, it's put within their ego. They don't know that it's happening. So the spirits that are of the earth and created of the earth must remain on the earth. These are the Nephilim. It was the sons of the Anakim, of the Nephilim, that were created on the earth out of they became reprobate spirits. They became spirits of the earth. They became what we know today as demons. So think of the 7 deadly sins and all of the intricate flipping web weaving that different sins go in and out of for those. Because their 7 deadly sins are just large group oriented spaces to put all of the little ones that are sub sins that come from that, or sub desires, lower carnal desires that are a sub form of those other lower carnal desires. So yeah, you better get up here, you're gonna get left, punk ass. So the universe will allow, because these demons are of the earth and they want to experience life still. They want your body to experience this world still, and they cannot have your body unless you give permission. So when you say okay to that energy, then and you resonate on that anger, violent, flippin', jealous rage, that blind rage within, you can people call. So that's normally not you. It's the battle with the lower self and the higher self. See, because your lower egoic self resonates and can resonate on those lower bandwidths. It's just like tuning in a radio. If you can get the signal in just right, you can pick up that station instead of static. You can pick up the music and hear it and actually get what they're saying. Well, it works on higher levels and lower levels, and your ego self totally resonates to those lower realms, to these realms and lower. Your higher spiritual soul self resonates to higher frequencies and higher levels, and you can tune those in. Your body is an amazing, amazing antenna. You're a walking antenna. You're a walking radiator. That's why you sweat, by the way. So, well, you don't sweat because you pick up antenna signals. You sweat because the energy, the friction of the energy within yourself. So energy vampirism. I feel like you have to give context to some of these things, and it really expands on some things and can really awaken some things in others, which is really amazing, because then they can expand on what you said and totally bring about a whole new revelation of the ancient mysteries and the mysteries of today that are still the same. So energy vampirism, these guys, they don't even know that they're doing it. Say you have all your plans set out for the day. You know exactly what you're going to do. But, being flexible, not rigid, allowing for spirit to work, right? Well, allowing for the higher spirit to work also allows for the lower egoic spirit to work. And those other demons can creep right in without you even noticing. So you're on your way, you're doing your thing, and then, somebody stops and they chat you up for 2 freaking hours, just totally sidetracked you and screwed your whole day up, but you didn't want to be rude. No, sometimes you have to be rude and say, no, look, hey, I've got something going on. I can't sit here and talk with you all day. I got to go. Bye. Some people we're just too nice to say that. It's really, really crappy that some of us are just way too nice to freaking say it. And it's also cowardism. There is a form of cowardism that comes with that. It's really, really crappy, because I found it myself, and it sucks. But so the universe will allow these demons to literally come at you with the dumbest of crap that literally sidetracks you. But it's normally enticing. So, say you're not really into smoking pot anymore, but you still enjoy smoking. You like to socialize. You're a social butterfly, and that's what you were doing when you lived in your shadow. That was your self-expression or social civil disobedience. That was how you just expressed your I'm just going to do this because this is what I technically want to do for myself. It's not what I have to do for myself, and it becomes your pastime, right? So the universe, when you start making your changes and you start like, no, I'm not going to live like this anymore. My shadow's not going to run my life. I am not going to live in subservience and servitude to my egoic shadow self. Well, shit. The universe and the lower carnal self is going to attract like a magnet everything that you just said you didn't want, because that's what you don't want in your life. So you voiced what you don't want in your life, right? So now, because you spoke it, those things are coming towards you. And because you said, no, I don't want those. Your lower egoic self, the energies that vibrate on those frequencies are going to send more energies that way to you to keep you bound and tied. They're like, no, stay, we love you. We like living our desires out through you and in your body. You know, we like this. We have a great partnership. Come on, don't ruin this. You know, and they will do everything and anything to hang on to you. These are energy vampires. They like their source of sustenance and nutrition, and they have become accustomed to it, and they do not like giving up their meals. They do not like it. So the physical manifestation of energy vampirism is just that. But then there's also the people that take it to the extremes because they cannot see the higher spiritual self. They only see the lower carnal, and so they begin to resonate on this earthly plane, thinking that they're doing, you know, rituals, drinking babies' blood, and, you know, drinking all that crap, you know, doing vile things. Vile things on this earth. Thinking that they're serving, and they're, you know what happened? They ascended without spirit. They accepted the wisdom and knowledge that came with ascension within, but they denied spirit, and they crucified the Christ instead of exalted him. Because the Christ gets crucified within you no matter what. It's just whether he arises and ascends, or if he just descends further and further into the pit of chaos. See, because everybody who gets baptized, literally, I'm Christian, you know, now I'm Christian, but nothing changes, you know. And so we get caught in that cycle of just, you know, saying I'm a Christian, but our words and our words say one thing, but our actions and everything say, no, I'm still living for myself. You know, I don't have to do anything. Christ did it for me on the cross. No. Christ will be crucified no matter what within you. It's whether he gets off that cross or whether he remains on it. It's up to you. That is the choice that everyone has. And see, they chose not to take the Christ off of the cross. They chose to exalt the ego, to exalt the lower carnal self for wealth, immortality, gain here. You know, because now they have ascension. They are immortal. We are created immortal beings. You cannot create nor destroy energy. That's it. It can only be transformed, transmuted, changed. That's it. That's physics. It's a freaking law of the universe. You would think that people would understand just by the laws of the universe, just by science, the depths and breadth of spirit. That's horrible. I see I need to come out here with some trash bags and pick up after some awful people. Well, not awful people, but people making awful choices. They don't care. They don't care about the earth. We only have one. We only have one earth. This is disgusting, people. We only have one earth. I know you don't think it's fair. I know you think that it's shit. Well, let's do something about it. Let's do something about this shit and unfairness. Because the world is shit. It needs love. The way that America shares its culture with the world is disgusting. I would hate America. I really don't hate, but you know what? I really don't like America. I really don't like America. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because the way America shares its culture is disgusting. All they share is hate, war, force. They believe what I believe and live like I live or die. That's how Americans share their culture with the world. No, you're doing it wrong. You should be doing it like this. It's disgusting. There is no freedom in that. There is no love in that. There is nothing in that but dead fruit. It's awful to live this way. So, I'm sorry. I'm on energy vampirism. So the world literally, if you vibrate on that level, then that's what you're going to get more of. Raise yourself up. Exalt the Christ within you. Take him off the cross. Love is what this world needs. Love. Acceptance. Tolerance. Patience. These are things that everybody desires in life. People don't wake up and, I want this person to beat on me and hit me and say mean things to me and tear me down. That's what I want all day long. If that's what you're asking for all day, you're a damn liar. If you flipping literally write in some comment, yeah, that's exactly what I want, I am literally going to call you a liar to your face. Because that's not what anybody wants. Come on. This way. Come on, this way. No, this way, you freaks. Come on. So, I guess I'll leave it there for today. That's probably a long enough video. Yeah, I guess I've kind of bounced around and scattered everything out, but hopefully you guys get something from this. I'm really trying to put my feelings and everything into words. It's really hard to take spiritual things and give them a voice when you feel the spiritual things. You have to use your other bodies in order to receive these messages, and then putting them into words is unfathomable sometimes. It's a task. It's draining sometimes, but it's the best thing I've ever felt in this world. So, you guys stay blessed, stay in peace, stay in love, and share it with others. First, give that love and peace to yourself, and then share it with others when you have enough. Bless you all, and may divine peace be with you always.